to Bookwrights House, where we explore the voices behind stories that help us navigate life's deepest questions. Marcos Cummings is a multidisciplinary creative whose interests include writing, drawing, basketball, reading, and video games. His creative expression spans not only poetry but also music, visual art, and storytelling, reflecting a deeply personal and imaginative perspective on the human experience. So, good afternoon, Marcos. I'm Elijah Barcelona, and it's
Good
truly
afternoon.
a pleasure to welcome you to Bookwrights House. So,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for joining us today.
Okay.
Okay, so the title of your book of poems is X. So the title itself is striking in its simplicity and mystery. So what does X represent to you, and why did you choose to end it with ellipses?
Well, the reason why X is so important to me is because when I was younger, I liked the video game X. I liked a video game called Mega Man X. It was a great video game that I liked it, and I liked that X so much that I substituted it with my name, and that's how it
Mhm,
all started.
mhm. Okay, so finding meaning through difficulty. Your book reflects on how difficult it can be to make sense of life. Was there a particular moment of uncertainty or struggle that inspired this collection?
Well, I was going through a hard time in my life
Mhm.
at the time, and I wanted to write poetry, and somebody told me while I was going through what I was going through, I was writing music. I was writing music, and the music I was writing was gospel music. And they said poetry it can help you write your music even better. So I wrote a book of poetry. I wrote poetry, and that's what inspired me to write this book. And that's why I started, pretty much.
Okay. So you mentioned righteousness as a core theme. So in a world that often feels chaotic, how do you define a righteous life through your poetry?
Righteous life, doing what's right, being respectful, living an honorable life is very important. And I think that my poetry shows that, and I want to share that with people. I want to share with people how I feel about God and my religious point of view.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier as a songwriter and a poet, how does your creative process differ between writing song lyrics and writing poetry? Does rhythm still play a role even without music?
It does play a role without music. Writing poetry and writing music is kind of the same thing, in my opinion. And I like to do them both. I like to be creative, and it's just something I love to do.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about your visual influence on writing. So, as a visual artist, do you imagine images, colors, or scenes before writing your poems? So, if X were a painting, what would it look like?
It would look strong and hard and rough. It'd be very visible, and everybody would say that's cool, and I like it.
Really good way to explain that. So, having spent years playing basketball and football, how did sports influence your discipline, perseverance, and creative mindset as a writer?
Well, football and basketball, you have to be disciplined. You have to play by the rules, and if you don't play by the rules, you can't win the game. I would say that being on time, being respectful, and respecting your team players, whether it's outside with your friends or on a regulation sport, is very important, and that's what it is.
Okay. Okay, indeed, indeed. Okay, so now let's talk about your faith and creativity. So, you are a dedicated Christian and also
Oh
an
yeah.
inventor. Yeah, like your signal recharge battery idea. So, yes, do you see a connection between the creator you worship and the creative drive you have to build a new technology?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I say the fact that my faith is very strong in Jesus Christ, and I I would say that my creativity comes from my own mind. I'm creating, I'm the doing, and I thank God for it. And when I create things, it's for my own development. But my faith strengthens me. It makes me strong, and it makes me ability to grow in Christ, and it makes me to grow in my ability and to create things. I guess I would say.
Okay. Okay. So, personal accountability. You've said you have to be it yourself. How has
Yeah.
this philosophy shaped your life and your writing? Okay, can you expound further on that?
Yeah, that's my quote. That's my quote. That's my quote. Whatever you want to be yourself. If you want to be this great person, you want to have the ability to become. You have to be that thing that you want to be. You
Mhm.
cannot say, "I want a beautiful wife. I want all these things," and you cannot be that in yourself. You have to have those qualities that have those things. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Yes, that's a good point. And I saw here that you have plans to become a film director, okay?
Yes.
Do you ever imagine your poems being transformed into visual scenes or cinematic sequences?
Yes, yes, I want that to happen. I want all my books. And by the way, this is another book that I wrote. Can you see it?
Yeah, I do.
This is
Yeah.
this is another one of the books I wrote, and and I think that it's a great catch. And I do want to do something with my with films and with my books and things.
Hmm. Okay, indeed. You are more leaning into the creative side. Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
start. Okay. So let's talk about writing as healing.
Oh yeah.
You've spoken about the challenges of getting ahead of life. So, has poetry helped you find peace, clarity, or direction during difficult times?
Poetry does share that with me because when I write, I'm able to relax. I'm able to tell people how I feel. I'm able to tell how I'm growing. I'm able to tell my opinions about things. I'm able to share my light of truth with my poetry and with my music. And this is a very important thing. It's very important to be that creative and to share that with people.
Mhm. Can you like expound more since I wasn't able to grasp what you said earlier?
Well, to be able to create is very important. And to
Mhm.
me, be able to share my opinions, to share my beliefs and my poetry is a very good thing. That's what I like to do. I mean, I think that's a very important thing, and with my books and with my storytelling and all that kind of thing.
Okay. So, expanding into fantasy writing. So, you are also working on fantasy books at the moment?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, how do the themes of hope and faith from X influence the fictional worlds you are creating?
How does it influence me by letting me show my skills off in writing and music and film and whatever I do? I'm able to share that and show that, and I want to show it in the righteous way and in a decent way.
Mhm. Okay, that's an okay. Okay, so message to readers who feel lost. So, if a reader feels completely lost or uncertain about their life, which poem from X would you want them to read first, and what would you hope they gain from it? Okay, you can
It'll
read
be
a
beautiful.
line. Okay.
Okay, it'll be beautiful church. Beautiful church is a good way when I'm talking about sharing my faith. And that's what I want. What I want you to get from that is know that the church is beautiful and they're good people and they're great people and they can show you the way and they can help heal your problems.
Mhm. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, now can you show us the physical copy of your book, and can you say a few words to our audience, like to invite them to buy your book or to purchase your book, and where can we purchase it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Okay.
here
Oh.
is X Origin X collection of poetry. You can buy this at Barnes and Nobles. You can find it at Amazon probably. And thank you. And this is the other version of X poetry. You can find this on too. Can I put on other books too?
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
can
this is
show.
X collection of X Origin of the Family. You can find this as well on Barnes and Nobles. And thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Marcos, thank you for sharing your story and your creative journey with us today. X offers readers not only poetry, but also reflection, encouragement, and a reminder that even in uncertainty, there is hope and meaning to be found. And to everyone joining us, thank you for being part of this conversation. We hope today's discussion encourages you to reflect, to create, and to find strength in your own journey. So until next time, keep reading, keep reflecting, and keep discovering the stories that shape who we are.
Bye.
Let's get scratching.